Welcome to the Home Organizing for Beginners podcast. In today's episode, I'll share how you can start task batching today so that you save 15 minutes or more every single day. So let me give you a super short introduction. I'm Tammy, a busy wife and mom, just like you with a household to manage. For most of my kids' infant to tween years, I experienced debilitating self-doubt in how I managed all the things at home and work because of the perfection our society seems to expect of us as moms. After recognizing that my home wasn't the peaceful home that I wanted it to be because I was pursuing perfection, I began to research and make changes. And I'm here to help you make changes too. Changes that put you, your family, and your current season of life at the core of it all so that you can finally have the peaceful home you desire. Buckle up and listen in because we're getting right to the point. So let's set the stage here for a moment. We all have the same amount of time in the day, right? We have 24 hours at our disposal, but it can feel like we need more time in the day. It just never feels like enough. Sometimes it even feels like we need 48 hours in the day to get it all done. And sometimes we look at our friends, our family, or social media, and we see that others seem to have it all together, that they get a lot more done and they get to relax and they get to vacation. But I want to be super clear on this. What you see online, what you see on social media versus reality is completely different. What you can't see in that picture on social media is what their place really looks like. How does it look outside of that curated picture? You don't know if someone else's completely clear and clean countertops are really just boxes of stuff piled in a closet. So these thoughts that infiltrate your mind really can cause you to get down on yourself, and I don't want that for you. If this is you, I recommend putting blinders on, meaning that you stop the comparison to others and really focus on what you can control. So with blinders on, you're able to put you, your family, and your current season of life in the center of how you manage all the things in your home. In the course Home Organizing for Beginners, you learn exactly how to get your home organized in a way that puts you and your real life at the core of the entire process. If I don't share this with you, I am just doing you a disservice. The only way to get and keep your home organized is really to focus on what is happening in your home, really to focus on how your family and the people in your home function within the walls of your home. So there is no cookie cutter checklist that is going to do this for you. You really have to roll up your sleeves and dig in. And I can show you how to do that within the online course, Home Organizing for Beginners. This is really truly a go at your own pace because everybody's home organizing journey is a little bit different, and how you think and function is definitely different than how other people function. So again, you can go to www.homeorganizingforbeginners.com to learn more and to put your family at the core of how you organize your home. So when you search for how to save time in your day, you'll see a lot of different ideas, and I'm only sharing one thing with you, and I want you to be able to implement it today, because if I give you a whole list of 15 different things you could do to save time, now you not only have to implement that thing that you choose, but you have to choose it. You have to decide. Task batching is simple and really can be a game changer. So what is task batching? It's pretty straightforward. You're grouping tasks together that make sense, and tasks that group together that make sense to you, not necessarily what I tell you to group together, but I am going to give you some examples to get the ball rolling. The best example that I have of this that can save the most time overall in my week is running errands. We live about 20 minutes from Aldi and Sam's Club, where I do all of our grocery shopping. This is the same area where our doctors are, where clothing stores are, where we can buy shoes. So I work our schedule pretty hard to make sure that I only run into town once a week. If I can span 2 weeks, that's even better. So I'll admit sometimes it's like I'm driving into town 3 times or more in a week because, surprise, I need dress shoes because I grew out of my dress shoes and we have a concert tomorrow. So I admit we do have those surprises sometimes, but I do really work hard to try and group all of my running into town, all of my errands. I try to group all of that together as best as I can because it's a 20-minute drive there, a 20-minute drive back. So that in and of itself, if I reduce my trips to town by one, I'm saving 40 minutes. So it can also be checking email, and I find myself doing this far too much. So much so that I actually took my email app off of my phone, and I haven't had social media on my phone for quite some time. So, if you are checking emails 3 or 4 times a day, you're really at the beck and call of whoever is emailing you. Because if you're like me, you feel like you have to take care of that thing right away. And texting can be the same thing if you're checking your text messages 3 or 4 times a day, or you have the notification on. These things take away our attention from what we're working on. All right. And we lose time through that. So now we're going to dive in how to implement task batching today. I have 4 steps for you. Step 1, write down how your current days unfold, and you need to be honest about it. If you spend 2 hours on your phone regularly, or you fill 5 or 10 minutes here and there reviewing emails or texts, because we all do this, right? You need to just write it down. It's okay, but being aware of it is how things will actually change. So what is the week currently composed of? Use a paper, spreadsheet, type it up, whatever works best for you, but write down how Monday looks, how Tuesday looks, and keep it fairly high level, but put the tasks in order. So for example, I get up, get dressed, drive kids to school, go to work, come home from work, make dinner, relax for a bit, get kids ready for bed, tuck kids into bed. I get ready for bed, and then I go to bed. So that's at super high level, and I haven't necessarily included grocery shopping, but all of those kind of things would be in your list. Step number 2, review what you've written for what stands out as options to be batched. So look at the items that require the same tools or the same destinations as your starting point. Okay, so are you driving into school at night multiple times to pick up kids? If so, can the kid that's done earlier just wait until the last kid is done? They can work on homework or they can hang out with their friends during that time. So are you driving to the same area multiple times a week? Can you start grouping your trips together? So that's just an example. So really take a little bit of time to review that and come up with some ideas. Step number 3, select 2 to 3 tasks that you're going to start batching together and try it out. You're going to write up how each day will look with these tasks batched, when and where and such, so that you know what you're shooting for. Don't assume you're going to remember what you decided to batch together. It's a new habit and it's going to take some time to test out. When you write it down, it's easier to commit to the changes for a longer period of time. Step number 4, each week, review how it's going. You're going to do this on a weekly basis. You may not change anything right away, but you're still going to review it. Set a reminder, maybe in a week from today, to review how the change is going. If you skip this step, your mind is going to trick you into thinking that it's not benefiting you, or it's too hard, or maybe it's going to make you think that it's going better than it really is. So set that time to review it. When you review, you're going to take a look at the first document that you wrote up, right? This is how your week was unfolding. And then you're going to compare it to the second document that you wrote up of how your week is unfolding with the batched items. So you're going to make an assessment. I'm not asking you to keep track of how long things are taking, because I feel like that makes it more complicated and makes it harder for the change to stick. As you get better in your organizing and in your time management, tracking things becomes a little bit easier, but don't worry about that right now. You're just getting started. So you've reviewed it, you've made some assessments, but stick with it. This continues until you're satisfied that you've optimized your time by task batching. Okay, so in summary, your steps are: step 1, write down how your current day unfolds. your current days. You're really going through the whole week, but be honest about it. Step number 2, review what you've written for what stands out as options to be batched. Step 3, select 2 to 3 tasks that you're going to start batching together and try it out. Step 4, each week review how it's going. And you guys, I want you to get started today if at all possible, because this is going to immediately make a positive impact. That's what I have for you today. I pray that what I shared with you today will help you work towards the peaceful home that you desire. Have a fun and productive weekend. I'll be back here next week sharing tangible and simple instructions about home organizing, cleaning, and time management. I'll see you then.